It's another beautiful Tuesday morning here on Urban Radio 94.5 FM. It's the 20th day in the month of August. Wow, we're already on the 20th day. And the time check in the studio is 11:08 a.m. A very beautiful good morning to you, dear listener, and to you also joining us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/forward Urban Radio 94.5. Thank you very much for keeping it locked here with us and also for joining us for another special edition of the business show, Urban Marketplace. Urban Marketplace is a program that comes your way every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Friday. Today is another Tuesday for us to kick it off this week. My name is Rochelle, and of course, I'm not alone here in the studio. I've got Mr. Tony seated on my right-hand side. Good morning, Mr. Tony.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Okay, I understand the weekend break. It's all good.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. We're back again, and let's have a great time.
Yes, we are back again. And you know how it goes here on this show. This show has two segments. We have the discussion segment and, of course, the promotion segment. So we're going to be beginning with the discussion segment. And today, Mr. Tony is going to be talking to us on why necessity is the mother of invention. Let me take that again. Why necessity is the mother of invention. Mr. Tony, can you walk us through this topic?
Yeah, all right. The saying necessity is the mother of invention highlights how challenges and needs drive human innovation. There are, so many scenarios and situations where, human need has driven innovation and invention, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that I told a story one time on this show, how 25 years ago, I traveled out of the shores of this country, in search of greener pastures, right? And I landed in a Portuguese island, in the middle of Atlantic. And this was, like I said, 25 years ago. And the official language here was Portuguese. I didn't speak any Portuguese, right?
Uh-huh.
I had to pay bills, so that means I needed to get a job, And that was when I actually discovered the meaning of the phrase necessity is the mother of invention, right? I was a creative person. I had skills, but I couldn't get a job because I didn't know the language. I didn't speak the language. I didn't speak any Portuguese. So it became apparent that I had to learn the language. So I started learning the language. Yes, today I speak the language fluently, but then I couldn't. So I couldn't get a job because of the limitation, that stems from me not knowing the language, right?
Okay.
And so I had to do something to earn money so that I could pay my rent on the 5th of every month. It's not like Nigeria. Out there you had to pay by month, right?
Okay.
And my contract states that I had to pay my rent on the 5th of every month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you do not pay on the 5th of every month, if the landlord is kind, he could give you a few days grace. He could give you up to 1 month grace, after which he enters into a legal, system that kicks you out of the house. And you still have to pay, right? So it became clear that I had to do whatever I had to do to pay my rent and feed myself. And so being a creative person, I started looking inwards. What can I do to earn money? And I started creating things, right, with my hands. I will develop things. I would make a beautiful aquarium, the fish tanks, right? I was actually the first person that made a fish tank and actually put a water outlet channel on this, right? I needed to do something different, something that could sell, something that people would love. I started making aquariums that were shaped in different ways that had never been done before. Regular aquariums, would be like a glass box of rectangle or square, right? I started making different diagonal shapes and stuff, and incorporating some wood covers and all of that, and incorporating some amazing lights. From there, I started making flower pots with glass and all of that, and beautiful lighting and all of that, right? So from there, I made some good clientele, some businessmen, some embassies became my clients, and money started coming in, right? Of course, I started paying my rent, and from there, I actually discovered that necessity is truly the mother of invention, right?
Okay.
Human needs drive innovation. When God created man to eat herbs and fruits in the Garden of Eden. Remember, man was not created to kill animals and eat them, right?
Yeah.
In the Garden of Eden, man and wildlife were at peace with one another. So Adam and Eve did not have a need, to kill to eat, right? Because if you read the Bible, you see that God told them that I've given you the herbs and the fruits, in the garden for food, right? So there was no need for fire. Neither was there need for stove, right? Because they could feed themselves through nature. But then when man sinned and was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, of course, it became clear that the garden was not there anymore. Adam had to source for food for his family, right? And from there, man started evolving into killing animals for food, right? And from there, evolution grew to the point where they needed to cook the food, right? And so that meant that Adam and the early people and the early humans had to find a way to make fire. Right? Not only make fire, but find a way to, get utensils with which they're going to cook their food. And so the invention of fire came, which till today metamorphosed into phosphorus and matches, right? Okay. And now beyond matches, they now have electric lighters, they have gas lighters and all of that. It was the need for fire to cook food that led into these innovative ideas, right? Now, of course, those early humans as well had to get kitchen utensils to cook the food. And so they started making pots, clay pots. Early men cooked with clay pots and all of that. And so pot was invented. And of course, you see where pots are today. Pots have actually metamorphosed from clay pots to metal pots, to stainless steel pots, to aluminum pots today. So the point that I'm trying to make is that it's the need of humanity, that actually drives invention. And so Nigeria is at that point right now where things are really tough, right? And so we should begin to look inward to solve our own national economic problems. So my problem is with the black man, we always, when we face challenges, we always look at the West to help us solve this problem. We're always looking at IMF, World Bank. We're looking for England. We're looking for America to give us one aid there or here or there to solve our problems, right? And other people who can't feed themselves because they don't have jobs, or maybe they lost their jobs because of the bad economy. I was at the vulcanizer this morning, and a lady walked up to me, and this is not to make fun of her. I felt pity, right? She walked up to me and asked for money, right? Now, I turned to the vulcanizer and said, well done, Tinubu. Tinubu will hail you, because many Nigerians are begging. But the truth is, a lot of those Nigerians that are begging today are not looking inward and asking themselves, what solutions can I provide, so that I can actually make a living in the society? They would rather beg, right? Some other ones would rather steal, go into, thievery. Some other ones would actually choose to be depressed. Sit at home and worry about tomorrow, worry about the next day's food, worry about, how I'm going to pay the rent. And then you get consumed in your thoughts, and anxiety and depression comes in, and then you see people going crazy, right? You see people committing suicide, because really the reason people commit suicide is because the chaos of life has kind of overwhelmed them, and they don't see a way out. And then they'll rather take their own lives. But if you actually understand that God has given you the mind, and your mind is stronger than the biggest and the fastest computer man ever made. This is the truth, right? The ability to create wealth is already in your mind. The ability to bring out solutions that will not only solve your own problems, but actually solve community's problem and allow you to exchange that solution for cash is already in you. It's innate. It's an ability. It's a God-given ability. But fear, a lot of times, hinders us from advancing the thoughts that can actually lead to solutions that will eventually connect to cash. Remember, I said I 25 years ago, I traveled overseas. I didn't have a job. I could have decided to go the route of depression.
Okay.
I could have decided to go the route of drug dealing. Many Nigerians were actually dealing on drugs out there, and are still dealing on drugs. But when it comes to crime, I'm totally useless because I was raised differently. I don't know how to do crime. I don't know how to cheat for money. I don't know how to do negative things for money. There are people like that, right? And so instead of do what I did, they decided to sell drugs. Some other ones decided to go into all kinds of fraud, whether internet fraud or love scams, all sorts of scams that allowed them to make money, and they were making good money. But for me, I knew I couldn't do scams. I knew I couldn't deal drugs. I had to find a way, to become creative, and creative I was. And so I started making a living. So you really have to settle down and look inward instead of looking at other ways, or allowing yourself to be depressed. Now, before I go further and expound on that thought of mine, I want to give you about 10 scenarios where necessity that proves that necessity, is the mother of invention. Now, the invention of wheels, right? The scenario right here is ancient humans needed a transportation system, that could help them convey heavy, objects over long distances, right? And so the wheel was invented, and this revolutionized transportation and laid the groundwork for countless other inventions like the horse and the buggy, right? So the invention of the wheel meant that carpenters could now build a cart and sit it on a wheel and then connect it to a horse or a donkey. And then it became the early stages of transportation, human transportation, right? Okay. Or transportation of goods, right? But it was because somebody invented something that could ride smoothly, and that heavy load and carts could be put on that. And wheels, when a transportation system was founded. And so from that point, we've had different kinds of automobiles. Some were manual, some were electronic. Some were how do you call that? Mechanical. And today we have electric cars. But every single one of them are made possible because of many technologies. But the earliest of these technologies was the wheel, right? Now we have the light bulb, right? The need for safe, efficient lighting to extend the productive hours beyond daylight. Now, many years ago, before the light bulb was invented, before lamps were invented, once it was dark, once the sun sets, people go home. That was the end of the work for the day because you couldn't see. And then people invented lamps, right? And so they started using the wick and palm oil, right, to lamp the homes. And actually, some early African cities lighted their streets with, touch light, how do you call them, native torches that were lighted by, powered by palm oil. From there, crude oil was discovered, and then kerosene was made and all of that. And people started lighting their lanterns at home with the kerosene, as a source of, energy, right? But from there, the light bulb was discovered. Of course, the light bulb could not have been discovered if somebody did not discover electricity. Mm-hmm. So the need to extend work hours beyond the setting of the sun, led to the discovery of electricity, and they actually found many uses for electricity. And of course, Thomas Edison, I believe, founded the light bulb, and so that meant that people could light their homes or their offices or their workshops, even beyond the setting of the sun. And so people could work into the wee hours of the morning with the invention of the light bulb, right? So, like I said, Thomas Edison invented electric bulbs and provided a long-lasting and safe light source, transforming homes and industries, right? Now you have, of course, the internet, right? I'm particularly excited about this one because Nigeria plays a very important role in this invention, actually. Many of you may not know, but the man on whose mathematical calculation and the production of a supercomputer, was the reason internet was possible. And this man is from Onitsha in Anambra State, and his name is Emeagwali. Emeagwali is the father of the internet, as he is touted to be, right? And so it was on the basis of his mathematical calculations and inventions that the internet was founded. So kudos to Nigeria on that one. That is to say that Nigerians are very creative people, and if we can look inward and look at our God-given abilities and the skills we have, we can actually provide solutions that eventually turn to cash. Emmanuel is a very, very wealthy man and living in America, and corporate America will not let him go. So what did he do? He moved all his family, his parents, his, extended family to America, right? And they all live in America, over the 40 years right now and doing great things. Right now, he's trying to invent develop a new technology that allows you to connect the internet to the human brain. So that way, the human brain can interact like a computer with the internet. And instead of use a computer, you can actually turn the human brain into a computer. It sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
But if you told my grandfather that a day will come when people would actually fly and ride, or my great grandparents that a day will come when people will fly from one country or from one continent to another with airplanes, they wouldn't have believed you because they couldn't see it coming. If you actually told them that today a day will come when human beings will sit in a car and the cars will drive themselves and without the need of a driver, they wouldn't believe it because they didn't see that level of invention. And so they couldn't actually fathom it. But it's possible today. So I could never say never. I could never say that Emma Wally will never be able to achieve that feat, because I know there's nothing impossible with the human mind if we actually decide to make it happen. So that's really the story behind the internet. And so today, the internet is solving many problems, right? With the discovery of the internet, we don't have to actually write mails by hand and take them to the post office. The post office is practically dead because of the internet, right? And so that's where we are today with the internet, and that technology is actually powering a whole lot of other stuff. Now, vaccines, right? The urgent need to prevent and control deadly infectious diseases led to Edward Jenner discovering smallpox vaccines, which was the earliest vaccines discovered in the 18th century, which paved the way for modern immunization practices, saving millions of lives, right? Then you have the printing press. This one was revolutionary as well. People could now get news from other regions of the country and beyond. So the printing press was discovered. The need for mass communication and dissemination of information during the Renaissance era led Johannes Gutenberg to set up a printing press that allowed, for mass production of books and the spread of knowledge, fueling education and literacy. And of course, the next one is also very revolutionary. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to, inter-travel. And this is the airplane, right? The need for faster transportation. Remember, transportation started with the horse and the buggy and mules, right? What we call donkeys, right? But it went beyond that to different kinds of automobiles, and like I said earlier, to the point where we are today. But it was limited, that it couldn't go beyond certain number of miles, right? And so people needed to travel from one country to other, and that led to the Wright brothers inventing, the fastest, one of the fastest modes of transportation, and they developed the first powered flights enabled global travel, connecting people and cultures across the world. And so that's the story of the airplane. Number 7 would be canned food, right? Now, many, many years ago, even in recent past, if you cooked soup, you had to finish it that same day.
That same day, yeah, or you keep warming.
Or you keep warming it, right? Otherwise, it would actually go rancid. And so the need for people to not be in the kitchen cooking all the time, led to the discovery of canned food. People found modern ways to actually can food and increase the shelf life to the point where canned food can actually stay on the shelf for as long as 2 years without expiring. Of course, in that mix is the refrigerator as well and the freezers, but that's talk for another day. But the invention of canned food led to us being able to set up supermarkets where foods can actually be sold in the store, even though I'm not a fan of canned foods, because I believe that that's the reason a lot of people get all kinds of cancers and different kinds of diseases because of the preservatives that have to go into these canned foods to increase the shelf life. But that's an invention that revolutionized the way we eat food, the way we buy food, the way we make food, right? Now, number 8 will be the GPS, the Global Positioning System. The need for precise navigation for military and civilian purposes led to the U.S. Department of Defense developing the GPS, which now guides everything from cars to smartphones to improving safety and convenience in navigation. The GPS system, if you don't understand, is a technology that allows you to actually travel to places you don't know without asking anybody. Nabiko, how can I get to
this place?
How can I get to Ogui Junction? You don't need to ask those questions, right? The GPS allows you to actually pick up a device and type, where you, and impute where you are, the coordinates of where you are, and the coordinates of where you hope to get to. And the GPS will actually guide you. And following that map, you'll get to your destination without asking questions. So it's actually revolutionized travel as well. Artificial intelligence is the latest latest, latest of the latest. Now, artificial intelligence is amazing, but it's actually making our children not very smart, because these days people are using artificial intelligence to do everything from assignments to exams, to do expos during exams and all of that. So it's making human beings less intelligent. But if you understand how to use it to your advantage, it will actually make you more money. I can tell you that I've made more money with artificial intelligence than prior to the discovery of artificial intelligence. So it's very important. It's very important technology, but you have to be disciplined, and hopefully we're not going to let our kids actually get overwhelmed by artificial intelligence. So the need to process and analyze large amounts of data quickly and efficiently in various fields, led to the discovery of artificial intelligence. So all AI technology like machine learning and neural network have been developed to perform complex tasks, from medical diagnostics to self-driving cars, solving problems that were previously too difficult or time-consuming for humans alone, right? And the last will be the solar panels, right? Yeah. Remember I said electricity was discovered. Thomas Edison discovered the light bulb. Even though it was said that Thomas Edison, a white man, was actually not the real inventor of the light bulb. He had a black man behind that discovery. But because at that time, black people were not allowed to register patents on their inventions. So many world revolutionizing technologies that we use till today were actually invented by black people, but these black people were not credited because that early there was high discrimination against black people and they were not allowed to register patents. And so their white partners or their white counterparts registered these technologies by proxy and put their names on the invention, but actually the true inventors were black people. So anyways, the solar panel revolutionized the way we power our offices and all of that, and actually brought about cheaper and more affordable electricity supply. Because when electricity was discovered, you had an electricity company that actually had to generate and distribute, and so you had to make payments directly to them to be able to use electricity. But with the advent of the invention of solar panels, you didn't actually have to go through the power companies anymore. You could just put solar panels on your roof or zinc, and power your home without needing to pay anybody taxes or monthly fees, right? The need for renewable and sustainable energy sources to combat climate change and reduce reliance on fossil fuels led to the discovery of solar panels. So photovoltaic cells, which convert sunlight into electricity, have enabled the widespread adoption of solar energy, providing a clean alternative to traditional power sources. So these are 10 products and scenarios that actually prove the necessity is the mother of invention. Now, my advice to Nigerians is look inward. God has given you the mind. The human brain is a powerful computer that actually can solve problems, right? And problem solving leads to wealth creation, right? Look around in your community. Find problems there that your community has, or problems that Nigerians go through on a daily basis. That's a good way to make millions. Look for solutions. If you can actually come up with solutions to the people's problems, they'll be willing to pay you cash for those solutions. So solution provision is the biggest business there is. Every invention is based on, solving a problem, right? And so once you're able to find a credible or viable solution to the problems that people have in large numbers, it makes you a millionaire. So please don't get depressed with the economy. Don't get anxious with the economy. Don't go out begging. Don't choose don't toe the line of crime and prostitution to solve your problem. That's a lazy man's way of solving economic problems. The harder but more beneficial way is to look for solutions, right? And so with these solutions, you can make a lot of money. And on account of time, I'll end it there for the discussion segment today.
Okay, so this we're going to be ending it for the first segment of the show this morning. Next is the promotions segment. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. You are still listening to Urban Marketplace right here on Urban Radio 94.5 FM. It's now time for us to move over to the promotion segment. And we're going to be starting off with the real estate product that we've got on the show this morning.
Welcome to Urban Marketplace Business Show. Discover unbeatable real estate deals in the heart of Enugu State. With prime locations and unbeatable prices, your dream home or investment property is just a call away. Capital Estate or Waro Anambra State. Own your slice of paradise for just 1.6 million naira. Cubana Estate, Neke Uno, a mere 5 minutes from the new Peace University Nike. Secure your future for only 2.5 million naira. University Estate, Atwogazi Nike, just off Ugogo Roundabout. Get yours for 2 million naira. Digital Estate, Uguomo Emene, 5 minutes from Caritas University. Get yours for 4.5 million naira. Citygate Estate 1. Obekenike Premium Living at 3.5 million naira. Citygate Estate 2 behind Banana Estate New Enugu. Exclusivity for 10 million naira. Excellence Estate in Uguomo Emene. Phase 1, 5 minutes from Caritas University, 7 million naira. Phase 2, 4 million naira. Phase 3, 3 million naira. It's the call away. FEC Estate 2 beside Centenary City Okonano. Luxury living at 5.5 million naira. Evergreen Estate Ozala before UNTH along Enugu Patakat Expressway, 6.5 million naira. Crystal Garden Estate Okonano Enugu. Phase 1, 30 million naira. Phase 2, 12 million naira. Phase 3, 8 million naira. FEC Estate beside Centenary City Okonano Enugu. Prestige for 15 million naira. Top class estate Owekenike prime property at 3.5 million naira. Jasper Estate 2 Amodu Okonano high end living for 10 million naira. Ayiri Grace Homes Nkubo Emene Enugu State. Fast developing, just 10 minutes from Akanibiam International Airport. Only 8.5 million naira. Don't miss out on these incredible opportunities. Contact us today at 0818-123-3979 or 0901-2123-010 for direct calls or WhatsApp. Invest in your future with the Urban Marketplace Business Show, where your dream home awaits.
All right. So, inclusive to those collections of real estate properties, I have another one, a prime real estate that I have to sell, right? I got the authorities to sell this just last week, and it's an amazing property. This is located at 13 Owi Road. How many of you may know, how do you call it, Hotel Metropole, right? Hotel Metropole is up for sale. It's a prime property in Enugu, and I'm looking to sell this. Actually, I have the CFO with me right here, and so I've been commissioned to sell this property. But what I want to do is tell you about the property and then tell you how I intend to sell it, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a hotel that was built by an Italian, and it's a very, very strong building, right? It has about 62 rooms. Now, 42 of these rooms, well, this is, first of all, the size is approximately 76 by 33 square meters, right? So basically 4 plots, right? Comprising of 42 furnished apartments, right? Consisting of studios. These 42 furnished apartments are studios, if you know what studios are, right? And then it has a double and standard apartments, right? It has the studios and it has double and standard apartments. Now, it also has 6 single apartments that are not furnished. The 42 are furnished, but these 6 single apartment rooms are not furnished, right? Then it has 3 frontal commercial shops. It has a large car park. It has a manager's office and reception, right? And so this property needs to be sold, right? But I won't tell you the amount here on radio so people don't faint. You need to call me so we can discuss this. But if you're out there and you're a property manager, you're an agent, you're a real estate agent, you're a real estate a business person, you're an investor, you're a buyer, you're a real estate investor, right? you need to work with me on this because I need to sell this as quick as possible. Now, this is the catch. If you help me sell this property, I'll give you 10 million naira cool cash.
Oh, you're emotion.
Shamaka, are you shocked?
I'm shocked too.
No, but this is not a joke. So I want to employ you right now listening to me so that we can sell this really quick. And I don't want to be selfish about it. If you can help me sell this property in the next couple of weeks, or at the most 1 to 2 months, I'll give you a cool 10 million naira. Oh, I'm saying it on radio. I'm saying it on radio. If I didn't mean it, I wouldn't say it on radio. This is actually recorded. So I'll be held to my word. If you can help me sell Hotel Metropole in the next couple of weeks, at most next 2 months, I'll give you a cool 10 million naira. You'll become a millionaire off of selling this property. And I really need to offload this really, really fast. Now, remember that we're still in our investment season, and this runs from the month of August to the month of April next year. And we've actually come up with some investment programs. And the number one is the Young Millionaire Program, and Young Millionaire Program Season 2. We started this last year, actually. So you can buy into this program by investing 1 million naira per slot, right? And so you can buy from 1 to 10 slots or 20 slots, like many people did last year. Many people bought multiple slots. So you can buy this. Now, that means you're going to get 50% return on investment. What this means is that if you invest 1 million naira, you will get 1.5 million naira payout, right? That is to say you recover your 1 million investment and you get 500,000 profit on it. If you invest 20 million, it's the same thing, 50%, you'll actually get 30 million in return. So it's a 50% return on investment, and it's a great offer for you. Then we also have the Gary processing. Gary processing is also 50% return on investment, but the slots are as cheap as 500,000 per plot. You can buy as many slots as possible. The Gary is processed and sent to market, sold, and your profit returned to you. The Gary processing is not seasonal. It's open from now till next 5-10 years, right? It's something that's not seasonal. It's open all year round. But the Young Millionaire Program, of course, has a season to it. It's once a year, right? Then we have the Niger Trade House project. This is where we encourage people to ship out made in Nigeria goods. If you're a manufacturer, you're a distributor, you're a retailer, you have goods that are not selling in Nigeria, but you want to sell this. The export market offers you the opportunity to actually make dollars while living in Nigeria. So we're setting up trade houses. The first phase of this project is a trade house in Cape Verde. The second phase will be in Kenya. The third phase will be in Angola. And of course, we are actually looking at setting up one in Portugal or any of the European countries. The goal is to have trade houses scattered all over the place where Nigerians can actually ship their goods, and these goods are sold for them, and the return is made in US dollars, and it's a very profitable one, and we encourage you to look into this. So if you want to help me sell the Hotel Metropole, Chamaka is going to give you a number, but I also want to give you this one inclusive, because business is serious now. So you can call 090 12 12 30 10, 090 12 12 30 10. Chamaka, over to you.
Okay, so the other number to call is 08181233979, 08181233979. Urban Marketplace is a business show that comes your way here on Urban Radio every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. We are very much open to doing business with you.
Absolutely.
If you're a business person, you wish to advertise your brand, what you do, call us up on that number. Let's, talk about it and reach a conclusion. And
Chamaka, I must apologize. Chamaka would rather be called Rochelle from now going forward. But I'm so used to calling her Chamaka. So I apologize. I apologize for that.
It's no problem. It's no problem. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Tomorrow, we are definitely going to come back here to continue from where we stopped. Right. My name is Rochelle.
And I'm Tony Underfoot. Remember, it's the Urban Marketplace, the first ever shop on radio. We did it first.
Yes, at exactly 11:45 a.m. we made the news break. Please stand by.